I expect first of all to learn more about our climate as Africa. Yes, Rwanda is one place that I feel is very, should I say, green and nice, full of energy, full of everything good, but we want this for all the other countries in Africa. What I've seen in Rwanda, I've not seen in other countries, and I hope to learn from this forum to implement in other countries for better.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage our guest of honor, His Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda.
Ms. Damirora Ogunbi, Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General and the CEO of Sustainable Energy for All, Excellency Mary Robinson, senior officials and members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. First, allow me to welcome you all to Rwanda. We are happy to host you and thank you for choosing our country as the host of this year's forum, and we are happy to have it as the first forum in Africa. Over the past decade, significant progress has been achieved toward the 7th Sustainable Development Goal on affordable and clean energy for all. Nevertheless, the COVID pandemic has reversed many of the gains. Today, in Africa, more than 500 million people still do not have access to electricity. This energy crisis coincides with the threat of climate change, to which our continent is especially vulnerable. Switching to renewable energy is crucial. That is why creating an enabling environment to attract investment in sustainable energy is so important. Allow me to elaborate on 3 ways in which this can be accomplished on our continent. First, expanding the use of off-grid technologies and standalone systems can help bring power to rural communities in Africa more quickly. Second, going forward, we need to integrate industrial policy with sustainable energy policy. We need to plan now to be able to power Africa's future industries sustainably, but without slowing down our development. The data centers that need to be built in Africa to support the growth of information technology services are one example. Vaccine manufacturing is set to grow in Africa in the coming years. We can work to make the sector green right from the outset. Lastly, strong public energy utilities are central to access and affordability. They need to be professionally managed and financially viable. By integrating sustainable energy in pandemic recovery plans, we can accelerate the transition to clean power. But the transition must be just and equitable. This means it should align with Africa's development priorities and aspirations to ensure no one is left behind. At the same time, there needs to be increased financing to developing countries to support climate adaptation in line with international agreements. Africa cannot carry the burden alone, especially given that its emissions did not create the climate emergency. However, Africa will be part of the solution. For example, we will contribute through the Africa Center of Excellence for Sustainable Cooling and Cold Chain, launched in 2020 by the governments of Rwanda and the United Kingdom, together with the United Nations Environment Programme. This initiative is a concrete effort to help achieve the goals of the Kigali Amendment to the Montreal Protocol on phasing out hydrofluorocarbons. In addition to delivering financial security to farmers, this center will respond to the growing need for medical cold chains to store vaccines and medicines. We have a shared responsibility to ensure that our actions match our ambitions. The diverse group of stakeholders attending this forum is a demonstration of the level of partnership required to get the job done for our communities and our planet. I wish you productive discussions in the coming days. Once again, thank you for gathering in our country, and I hope you will all feel at home during your stay here. I thank you for your kind attention.
It is indeed an honor to have the first Sustainable Energy Global Forum on the African continent. This is a landmark global gathering, and over the next few days, we will take stock of progress, showcase success, and identify solutions we can take forward to achieving Sustainable Development Goal 7, universal access to clean and affordable energy that is just and equitable clean energy transitioning. Energy is the golden thread that helps us achieve all other development goals, as well as the goals outlined in the Paris Agreement on climate change. Achieving net zero by 2050 must mean leaving no one behind. We must act on climate, but we must put people first. Our theme for this forum is driving bold action for a people-centered energy transition, which is inspired by two key messages that underpin our work at Sustainable Energy for All, and I'm sure will resonate with you here today. One, people must be at the heart of the energy transition. Our energy future must be clean, but it must also be just, inclusive, and equitable. We must bring electricity and clean cooking to billions of people so they can have access to the same economic and social opportunities as those who already have abundant energy supply. And two, bold and urgent action is needed to end energy poverty and secure climate justice for billions of people around the world. We must act now to save our planet from climate change, and we must also protect the most vulnerable from its effects. Developing countries need the world's support through the clean energy offers to build energy systems that actually support their economic growth. Yet today, we have, and we've heard from many of the speakers today, nearly 759 million people that still live without electricity, and 2.6 billion people that do not have access to basic clean cooking solutions. This is simply unacceptable. We must recognize that addressing energy poverty, enabling a clean energy future, and ensuring development and economic opportunity must go together. Through the forum, SE for All, with all of you here today, aims to shape what a just and equitable energy transition would look like across economies at distinct stages of development. We recognize that low-emitting, energy-poor countries must provide for growth, development, and aspiration for their populations, while also having to achieve these net zero targets. Countries in Africa and Asia have a unique challenge. They must be considered and addressed uniquely today. They cannot be considered and addressed like it's happening in the developed world. Every single energy transition will be different. We must raise ambition and significantly scale up finance and investment for clean investment through innovative mechanisms where we know we can do if we take this thing really seriously, and we really take it as the crisis of which it is. Here at this forum, we're building on the success of the high-level dialogue that happened last year, and a range of stakeholders, and you've heard, brought over 200 energy compacts reflecting action and commitment. But this is not about commitments anymore. This is about how does this reflect on ground for the truly vulnerable people. This is really an important moment, and I'm so happy to have you all here, because it's on the way to COP27 and beyond. Several bold and ambitious announcements and commitments will be made over the next few days, and I'd like to thank all of you for being here because it shows that you are actually committing to SDG 7 and accelerating a people-centered clean energy transition.
Excellencies, dear friends, I thank the government of Rwanda for hosting the first Sustainable Energy for All Forum in Africa. Closing the energy access gap and ending energy poverty is crucial to delivering on the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. It is also fundamental to tackling the climate crisis. To limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees, we need to accelerate the deployment of renewable energy and transform energy production. In many countries, solar and wind are already the cheapest source of energy, and the renewable energy sector generates 3 times as many jobs as the fossil fuel sector. We need to shift to sustainable energy systems everywhere. The addiction to fossil fuels must end, starting with coal by 2030 in OECD countries and 2040 everywhere else. And we must leave no one behind. Developed countries must honor their promise to provide $100 billion a year for climate action in developing countries. Development banks must support countries as they transition their economies, invest in retraining and social safety nets. And private finance must stop funding fossil fuels and shift to renewable energies. Every country, city, company and organization should set ambitious renewable energy targets and present their implementation plans for clean and affordable energy through ambitious energy compacts. Together, let us pursue an agenda that is good for both people and planet and build a sustainable, just and equitable energy future for all. Thank you.